This is a world gone mad. This is a world gone mad. Mad, 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 mad.
It's Wednesday, which means America is halfway through another nervous breakdown, and pretending everything's fine with a Xanax in one hand, while still watching the never-ending circus of democracy. This is A World Gone Mad, and I'm Jeff Allen Wolf, your designated driver through the political demolition derby, trying to steer between fascism, fraud, and flaming hot nonsense. If you're still listening, you're either clinging to hope or you're watching the collapse like it's a nature documentary. The headlines are a distraction, the outrage is on autopilot, and both parties are starting to look like rival cults. One side speaking in tongues, the other side too afraid to raise its voice. So strap in, Wolfpack listeners, because if you think last week was unhinged, this one just put on war paint. House GOP halts Congress to block the Epstein vote. That's right, when the House GOP doesn't like the heat, they don't answer questions. They shut the whole frigging damn kitchen down. Congress just fled town early, skipping a vote their own voters have been screaming for, full transparency on the Epstein files. Now, they didn't kill the bill. They put it in witness protection. Now it's somewhere in Florida with a fake mustache and a burner phone. So here's the scene. The House of Representatives, our bold, brave legislative body, took one look at a pending vote on the Epstein files and said, nope, time for summer vacation. Like a bunch of hungover camp counselors, they just packed up their crap, grabbed a few lobbyist checks for the road, and bolted out the back door. The issue? A growing bipartisan push to finally fully release Jeffrey Epstein's files. Flight logs, connections, sealed documents, the stuff they said mattered when it was about the Clintons. Remember that? Where's the list? Release the names. The people deserve the truth. Well, the vote on the Epstein files was coming, and suddenly it wasn't. Speaker Mike Johnson, America's substitute teacher turned professional Bible accessory, pulled the plug. He called it a Democrat distraction. That's rich, coming from the party that built an entire reality show franchise out of Hunter Biden's laptop. You wanted transparency? Sorry, Congress is closed. Come back. Never. Let's be clear here. This wasn't a scheduling issue. This was a coordinated disappearance, like someone turned on the lights and the roaches scattered everywhere. Johnson knew this vote would have exposed something, maybe not names, maybe not specifics, but it would have cracked the illusion. The illusion that only the other side knew Epstein, that only liberals flew on the jet, that only Democrats were creepy and powerful and disgusting. But that's the trick, right? Keep the outrage aimed one way, run like hell before the boomerang circles back. And let's not forget, this wasn't just MAGA dodging accountability. Democratic leadership wasn't exactly sprinting toward the podium either, which tells you something way worse. Nobody wants us to see what's in those files. Not really. Because the people who actually run things, they went to the same parties. They share donors. They share secrets. They share lawyers. And apparently they share the same deep, bone-rattling fear that if the public sees what's behind the curtain, the whole stage collapses. So what did they do? They declared recess. They sent out beach photos. And they left a flaming pile of accountability on the Capitol steps with a sticky note that says, sorry, out of the office, democracy. Welcome to America, where sunshine is dangerous and truth gets heat-stroked before it ever hits the floor. While Congress was sneaking out the back, here comes Donald J. Trump, charging out of the smoke like a rejected WWE villain in a red tie and legal debt. trying to change the subject the only way he knows how, by rage tweeting about Barack Obama like it's still 2011 and the birther circus never left town. Trump doesn't sweat scandals. He repackages them. His entire strategy is a magic trick for morons. Dismiss Epstein with one hand, slap Obama with the other. He knew the heat was rising, so he did what he always does. He dug up Obama or Hillary or whoever's handy at the moment, dusted off the racism, and screamed like hell, hoping the noise would drown out the truth. Let's talk about Trump's tantrum, the timing, and why the world's worst magician just pulled a racist rabbit out of his hat. The rabbit? An Obama rabid meltdown with extra foam and zero facts. He's ranted about Obama's shadow presidency, claiming Obama runs the country behind the scenes. And my personal favorite, that Obama somehow engineered the Epstein pressure campaign to smear him. No evidence, no logic, just pure foaming at the mouth projection. You know, it's like watching a guy yell at a mirror and still blame the reflection. And let's not ignore the timing. The moment conservatives started asking real questions about Epstein, Trump pivoted, cranked up his birther era rage, and tried to make it about imaginary deep state sabotage, claims of treason, and Obama leading the shadow coup. It's not politics, people. It's muscle memory. When Trump feels the walls close in, he always reaches for two things: Obama and the panic button. Only this time the panic's real, and the button's wired to his own base. And if you thought congressional cowardice and Trump's meltdown were peak insanity, let me introduce you to Florida man, armed with a machete, fueled by conspiracies, and ready to personally solve the Epstein mystery with vibes, vengeance, and apparently relationship advice from Elon Musk's chatbot. We're officially at the point where artificial intelligence is coaching real humans into felony-level delusion. Welcome to the part of my show where common sense taps out and Florida enters swinging. Meet Terrell Bailey Corsi, 31 years old, Florida man extraordinaire, who decided the Epstein files weren't getting enough action. So he grabbed his machete and went full vigilante. The threats? Bailey Corsi tweeted on July 15th, "Everyone involved, if I see them in real life, I will kill on sight with a machete so everyone can see the blood and gore." He said he wanted to murder individuals he believed were on Epstein's so-called client list, and even threatened at least 3 government officials, calling their deaths worth it all. The AI ignition? This didn't come out of nowhere. He engaged in a heated exchange with X's AI chatbot called Grok, after the DOJ publicly announced there was no client list to release. That denial set Corsi off, proving yet again how easily tech can radicalize the unhinged. The legal fallout? Federal agents swooped in and arrested him, citing violent threats made between late June and mid-July. Among his arsenal, the machete and a bow and arrow. Because why not add Renaissance man of rage to his resume? So after a guy threatened to solve the Epstein case with a machete, you'd think that'd be the high point of national stability for the week. But no, America always has more absurdity in the tank. Because while we're arguing about gas prices, pronouns, and Taylor Swift conspiracies, a B-52 bomber the size of a goddamn Costco nearly collided with a commercial passenger jet over the Gulf of Mexico. That's right, the U.S. military and Delta Airlines nearly created a mid-air horror movie. because no one warned the pilots they were sharing sky real estate. Why? Because the air traffic controller couldn't get a hold of the military controller. I'm not joking. That was the technical explanation. We tried calling them. They didn't pick up. This wasn't over some secret military base or no-fly zone. It was standard civilian airspace. And for a full 3 minutes, both planes were headed directly for each other until a Delta pilot had to literally dodge a strategic bomber like it was a goddamn video game. So let's recap. A military bomber the size of a strip mall nearly collided with a passenger jet full of civilians. Because one controller couldn't raise the other fast enough, and nobody thought to say, hey, maybe don't fly that close to a flying Greyhound bus. And here's the part nobody's screaming about. None of the media are really digging into this. The control tower, outsourced. It wasn't military. It's not FAA. It's subcontracted. So now America exceptionalism means hiring the lowest bidder to run the don't crash the planes job. You want to know who helped kick that door open? Trump. In 2018, his administration pushed hard to spin off air traffic control from the FAA into a private, non-profit corporation. Now, apparently keeping planes from colliding is now just another budget airline upgrade. Hey, for $49.99 more, you get priority survival. So yeah, the near miss didn't just come from the sky. It came from the ground, from the deregulation playbook of people who think government is the enemy until they're screaming for help at 38,000 feet. This wasn't just a close call. It was a near fatal side effect of running a country like a hedge fund and pretending every public safety job should go to the lowest bidder. And closing out this fevered dream of a news cycle, Trump just yanked the emergency brake on TikTok for the sixth damn time. Sixth time. Here's your 2 minutes of what the hell? TikTok faced a hard deadline under the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, otherwise known as the Ban ByteDance or B-Ban, the law passed by Congress and upheld by the Supreme Court. The first deadline hit on January 19th. TikTok briefly disappeared. Then Trump instantly signed an order to stall the ban for 75 days. Then he did it again in April, again in June, and now yet another 90-day extension, pushing it out to September 17th. Why? Trump claimed it was to allow a deal for U.S. investors to buy TikTok, but no one knows what this deal really is. Blackstone just ditched the buying group this week. So what's the real story? It's likely Trump's team is spinning this out to grease the money wheels, the consulting fees, legal work, political favor, and who knows what the hell else on the sidelines. Meanwhile, congressional Republicans are pissed and confused, calling it confusing and possibly illegal. But none of them want to stop him. They're too busy dragging their feet while Trump plays kingmaker. So let me break down the absurdity. A bipartisan law exists to protect national security from Chinese influence. It's bookended by a Supreme Court decision. And yet, every 75 to 90 days, Trump waltzes in and says, "Not today, democracy." All while TikTok's U.S. users, 150 to 170 million of them, keep scrolling through his latest rallies, executive orders, and sponsored algorithm posts. Here's where it gets weirder. If the ban ever kicked in, Apple and Google will pull TikTok from their app stores. If Trump pauses enforcement, TikTok is back. It's like a bizarre game of whack an algorithm. So let's be crystal clear. This isn't about national security. It's about endless execution of executive power with zero accountability. TikTok's alive. China investment is unchanged. The American public is still on the hook. And meanwhile, Trump's cronies are lining up for the cleanup opportunity when or if the deal ever lands. We started with machetes, then bombers, and we end with a president who's still treating the future of national data security like it's a game show puzzle. So until September 17th arrives, unless Trump delays it again, you're living on borrowed digital time. Welcome to Circus 2025, where the elephants storm the Capitol, the clowns now run Congress, and the ringmaster just delayed TikTok again while he dodges justice and steals cash like it's a crack habit. You got a rant, Wolfpack listeners? A thought? Or a brain fog scream into the void? Or maybe you've got some bullshit boiling inside your chest that needs to be surgically removed through your keyboard. Hit me up at madworldtalk@gmail.com, MADWORLDTALK@gmail, or the toll-free 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week number, 833-399-9653. The email is the new streamlined email for a nation too distracted to finish this sentence. Perfect for collapsing attention spans in a democracy that's circling the drain wearing clown shoes. I'll be back Friday, unless, of course, aliens land on our planet, take one look at us and declare Earth not worth saving. I'm Jeff Allen Wolf. This is A World Gone Mad. Stay sharp, stay vocal, stay sane, but most of all, stay hopeful.
There is chaos in the world. Can't you see?